Hello YouTube, welcome to Blogging Drill. I'm your host Doug here with your pretty good blog for December 26, 2011. I'm going to start off, I'm going to hit on three topics today. I want to talk the weekend it was in the NFL, NBA kickoff, and just run down through some headlines. Alright, so let's start with some NFL action. Of course, NFL started their action, most of their games were Saturday, then they had one Sunday night, and then of course they had one tonight that'll be coming on in about a half an hour. Alright, so pretty much big games. First we'll talk about last night's game, of course, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers throws for 5 touchdown passes. Green Bay wins 35-21. Philly, big rivalry game, taking down Dallas. So they knock off Dallas 20-7. Still not going to be able to get into the playoffs after we saw the Giants, the next game to talk about. Giants knocked off the Jets in the battle for New York. Really, Sanchez struggled second half. Giants defense was solid in the second half, and that's really what told the tale. Next big game, of course, was Buffalo knocking off Tim Tebow and the Broncos. Buffalo forced 4 interceptions from Tebow. Tebow was not his best. And now Denver is in a tie with Oakland for the lead in the AFC West after the Raiders knocked off the Chiefs in overtime, 16-13, with Sebastian Janikowski coming through with a big field goal kick late. Miami Dolphins blew a 19-0 halftime lead to lose to Tom Brady and the Patriots 27-24. Tennessee knocked off Jacksonville in the tight one. Matt Hasselbeck had a pretty good game, and their big tight end really came up big for them. Jared Cook, 8 catches, 169, and a touchdown. Pretty impressive numbers from a guy who hasn't really put up much this year. So I like to see it. It's good for everybody. Other big games, not too many more actually. Minnesota knocked off Washington in a barn burner, 33-26. Cam Newton put up big numbers as the Panthers take down the terrible Buccaneers. The Panthers are now 6-9. They get 7-9 by the end of the year. Cam Newton 7 wins for that team. Look for them to maybe make a move for Justin Blackmon in the draft. That's what I think is going to happen. But really, let's just go to the standings and talk about what was clinched, what wasn't clinched, and what still can be clinched. The NFC East will be decided with the Giants taking on Dallas. It'll be a last game of the season for those two teams. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home. Pretty much a playoff game. Detroit has clinched their berth. Green Bay, of course, clinches home field advantage throughout. New Orleans and Atlanta going at it. New Orleans, of course, I do believe won the first matchup between these two teams. This game's tonight. I think New Orleans will win tonight's game and lock up that NFC South. The 49ers clinch a bye. Oh, they clinched their division. They have not clinched a bye yet, as that's still up in the air. Let's take a look at the AFC wild card situation, though, in the NFC. Looking like Atlanta and Detroit. Pretty much the only thing that's not clinched yet is the NFC East. Let's see what else we got here. Alright, now let's take a look at the AFC. We got New England at 12-3. They already clinched. They're solid. Baltimore 11-4. Pittsburgh 11-4. They're tied up in the AFC North. Baltimore holding the tiebreaker. More than likely will get in there on that. Let's see who Baltimore plays. Baltimore will take on the Bengals. So it's a pretty big game. That's also going to be a big game for the Bengals. So Baltimore taking on the Bengals, and Pittsburgh will probably take on the Browns, I'm thinking. See, Pittsburgh will take on the Browns. So obviously Pittsburgh has the easier shot at this. Pittsburgh can still take the division. Houston clinches their playoff berth, and then, of course, pretty much everything's clinched. Wild card, we got the 8 and 7s. 3, looks like Cincinnati will probably get in there. Cincinnati, even if they lose, they'll drop to 9 and 7. So Cincinnati, probably Tennessee, Oakland, Denver, Jets, all at 8 and 7. Pittsburgh will probably get the first wild card. So really, it's a race for the second wild card. There's going to be a lot of tiebreakers and everything going down there. Now I just want to talk briefly, very briefly, about the NBA. NBA kicked off yesterday, of course, with five or six games. Pretty high ratings, I would say. People liked it. We saw the Heat get back on track. The Heat knocking off the Mavericks. Mavericks not the same team as they were without Tyson Chandler. We saw Derrick Rose be his MVP self, knock off Kobe Bryant and Lakers, playing good D down the stretch, erasing an 11-point deficit with under 4 to go. So Chicago, relying on their defense, wins. We saw Oklahoma City get back on track. Oklahoma City knocked off with the Orlando Magic. Dwight Howard really struggled. Couldn't really get much going for his team. What else do we see? We also saw the New York Knicks maybe rise up to that third best team in the Eastern Conference, knocking off the Celtics 106-104. And really, the final game was the Clippers, and we saw Blake Griffin and Chris Paul play well together. We saw those guys really like to play with each other on the court, and they just played well. They gelled together. I think that's going to be a good team going down the stretch. That team will more than likely make the playoffs. All right, now just a final look at some headlines. A couple headlines really jumped out at me. Let's see. Dallas feels Romo is okay. They will not add a quarterback, so they're not going to throw a guy on there for this week if they think Romo will be able to go. Let's see. Yorbit Torbielba. This is a pretty big story. He's been suspended 66 games in Venezuela after he hit an umpire. He got into a little bit of an altercation with an umpire. He's been suspended for 66 games. That's all I got for you guys this week. Top 9 teams in the coaches poll in college basketball have held their ground. They stay in their normal spot. Syracuse still at the top. Syracuse opens up Big East play against Seton Hall on Wednesday night. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to be back on hopefully Wednesday with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Just subscribe to me. Give me comments, views. Thanks for watching, and I am out.